Hello everyone, welcome to my English class. How are you today? I hope you are in good condition. Today we are going to learn about narrative text. With me, your English teacher is KOMANG AYU WIDYANINGSIH. Have you ever heard about narrative text? Okay, let we discuss it now. What is a narrative text? Narrative text is a type of text that tells a story or describes a sequence of events. Next, what is the purpose of narrative text? The purpose of narrative texts are the first, to entertain the reader. Second, to amuse the reader. Third, to teach moral value. And the last one, to change social opinion. Next, we discuss about the generic structure of narrative text. What are the generic structure of narrative text? The generic structure of narrative text are 1. Orientation, 2. Complication, 3. Resolution, and the last is optional, such as reorientations or evaluation or coda. Next, the generic structure of narrative text explanations. Number 1. Orientations. The orientations of a story should answer the questions of who, where, and when. It sets the stake for the story and helps identify the character and setting. The generic structure of narrative text number 2 is complication. This section contains the problem that occur within a story. It is divided into 3 parts, namely rising action, climax, and falling action. The first is rising action is a problem begin to emerge. The second is climax. Climax is peak of the problems. And the last one is falling action. Falling action is the tensions of the problems begins to decrease and the solutions start to emerge. The generic structure of narrative text number 3 is resolution. The resolution is the part of a story where the conflicts or problem introduced earlier are addressed and characters might overcome obstacle, find solution, or experience personal growth. Other generic structure of narrative text, optional. There are 3. The first is evaluation, is the stepping back to evaluate the story or the moral message of the story. Second is coda. Coda is changes of the characters of lesson or value of the story. And the last one is reorientation. Reorientation is the ending of the story. Next, we will discuss about the language features of narrative text. Do you know what are the language features of narrative text? Okay, the first is using past tense. Second is using adverbial of time. The third is using adjective. The fourth is using noun phrases. The fifth is using time connective and conjunction. The sixth is using specific characters. The seventh is using action verb. The eighth is using direct speech. And the last is using saying and thinking verb. Now we will discuss one by one. The language features of narrative text. Number 1. Using past tense. Using past tense creates sequence and help readers follow the plot and understand event progression. For example, wanted, stay, clean, etc. Number 2. Using adverbial of time. Time expressions aid in understanding the chronology and coherence of events in a narrative. For example, once upon a time, one day, long time ago, etc. The language features of narrative text. Number 3. Using adjectives. Adjectives modify nouns by providing more information about them, including color, shape, size, and characteristic. They help create a more vivid and detailed story in narrative text. For example, beautiful, great, small, etc. Number 4. Using noun phrases. Noun phrases in narrative text provide more detailed description, highlight specific parts of characters or setting, and explain complex ideas concisely. For example, a cute puppy. The language features of narrative text. Number 5. Using time conjunction. These conjunctions are used to say when something happened. For example, when, since, after, etc. Number 6. Using specific character. The character of the story is specific, not general. For example, Cinderella, Snow White, Alibaba, and etc. The language features of narrative text. Number 7. Using action verb. An action verb is a type of verb that describes the actions that the subject of a sentence is performing. For example, kill, duck, walk, etc. Number 8. Using direct speech. It is to make the story lively. For example, Snow White said, "My name is Snow White." The direct speech uses present tenses. The language features of narrative text. Number 9. Using saying and thinking verb. To indicate what characters are feeling, thinking, or saying. For example, told, realized, decided, and etc. Now we will discuss about the kinds of narrative text. What are the kinds of narrative text? The kind of narrative texts are: number one, fable; number two, science fiction; number three, fairy tale; number four, folk tale; number five, fictional narrative; number six, autobiography; number seven, myth; number eight, biography; number nine, fantasy; number 10, legend; number 11, memoir; number 12, slice of life, and etc. The kinds of narrative text explanation. Number 1. Fable. Fable is a story, usually with animal characters, that exhibit human-like behavior, used for educational purposes. For example, the ant and the grasshopper. Number 2. Science fiction. Science fiction is that class of prose narrative treating of a situation that could not arise in the world we know. For example, the time machine. Number 3. Fairy tale. A children's story in a magical setting about imaginary characters that includes fairies, dwarfs, witches, angels, trolls, and talking animals. For example, Snow White. Number 4. Folktale. Folktale is a kind of story that passed down through generations, typically by word of mouth. For example, Malin Kundang. Number 5. Fictional narrative. A fictional narrative is a story that is not based on the real events or real people. For example, a novel, short story, fable, or fairy tale. Number 6. Autobiography. A narrative text that tells the life story of the author, written from a first-person perspective. For examples, author's life. Next, number 7. A traditional story, especially one concerning the early story of a people or explaining a natural or social phenomenon, and typically involving supernatural beings or events. For example, Nyi Roro Kidul. Number 8. Biography. An account of someone's life written by someone else. For example, B.J. Habibie. Number 9. A fantasy. A fantasy is a genre of writing in which the plot could not happen in real life, as we know it, at least. For example, Against the Beast. Number 10. A legend. A legend is a kind of a folklore. It is a traditional story that has been passed for 4 generations. It often explains the origins of a particular culture or society. For example, the legend of King Arthur. Number 11 is memoir. A memoir is a narrative text that focuses on a particular period or event in the author's life. often written from a first person perspective. For example, I know why the cake bird sing by Maya Angelou. Number 12. Slice of life. Slice of life relating to or marked by the accurate transcription as into drama of a segment of actual life experience. For example, mashed potato lasagna. Next, we will discuss about the example of narrative text. The title is The Rabbit and the Turtle. There are three paragraphs there. The first paragraph is orientation. One day, a rabbit was boasting about how fast he could run. He was logging at the turtle for being so slow. That's called orientation. The paragraph 2 is much to the rabbit's surprise, the turtle changed him to a race. The rabbit thought this was a good joke and acceptable the challenge. The cute fox was to be the umpire of the race. As the race began, the rabbit raced way ahead of the turtle, just like everyone thought. Mocking the tortoise, the rabbit said, "You are so slow. I bet I could beat you in a race without even trying." The turtle, wise and composed, replied, "I might be slow, but I am determined. If you are up for a race, let's give it a try." The rabbit got to the halfway point and could not see the turtle anywhere. He was hot and tired and decided to stop and take a short nap. All this time, the turtle kept walking step by step. However, quit no matter how hot or tired he got. He just kept going. This is paragraph 2 called complication. And the third paragraph is resolution. However, the rabbit slept longer than he had thought and woke up. He could not see the turtle anywhere. He went at the full speed to the finish line, but found the turtle there waiting for him. Then this called resolutions. And the last one is called evaluations or moral value is never underestimate our weakest opponent. Now I will discuss about the language picture. There are some words using action verb such as run in first paragraph and race in second paragraph. Next, in this paragraph using adverb of time, we can see from the first paragraph that is one day. And then next, using of saying and thinking verb. We can see from the third paragraph that is decided. Next, we will discuss about using time connection and conjunction. We can see from the last paragraph the word is however. And then next we can see using a specific characters or not general in the first paragraph in a word a rabbit and the second paragraph in a word fog and the turtle. Next, using noun phrases. We can see from the second paragraph that is a word of the cute fog. And then we can see the direct speech. In the second paragraph, in the sentence, mocking the tortoise, the rabbit said, "You are so slow. I bet I could beat you in a race without even trying." The turtle, wise and composed, replied, "I may be slow, but I am determined. If you are up for a race, let's give it a try." That's called direct speech. And then now we move to using past tense. We can see some words that use past tense such as challenge, thought, accepted, began, raised, composed, got, decided, kept, slept, woke up, went, and found. And then for the last is using adjective. There are so many words of adjective in the paragraph, such as fast, slow, surprise, good, cute, determined, tired, and hot. And then that's all the discussions about paragraph of narrative text. I think that's all about narrative text. See you next meeting. Bye bye. Thank you for watching.